Hello friends, welcome back to Jurist Lens. Today we shall discuss about constitutionalism. Dear friends, constitutionalism is the foundational principle that the powers of government should be constrained by a constitution. It goes beyond merely having a written document outlining laws and structures. It is about ensuring that the government operates within the limits set by the Constitution. Dear friends, constitutionalism mandates that the government cannot act arbitrarily and that its actions must be accountable to the law and the people. It seeks to protect the rights of individuals, ensuring that power is not concentrated in the hands of a few and that the state functions within established legal boundaries. Dear friends, without constitutionalism, a constitution may be reduced to a mere facade. An example of this can be seen in many dictatorial regimes that maintain constitutions but do not genuinely adhere to their principles or limits. In these cases, despite having a constitution, power is often exercised unchecked and without regard for individual rights. Dear friends, constitutionalism is what transforms the document from a mere set of rules into a functioning reality that limits governmental power and protects citizens' rights. In essence, constitutionalism is the combination of limited government, the rule of law, and the protection of rights. It ensures that government power is not absolute but is exercised within a framework that respects individual freedoms and the principles of democracy. Dear friends, now let us go through the definitions of constitutionalism. Number 1, C.F. Strong. According to him, constitutionalism means a government limited by the terms of the Constitution where the government is conducted according to the spirit of the Constitution. Meaning, Strong emphasizes that the government should not only be confined to the letter of the Constitution but must also operate in harmony with its spirit, reflecting democratic values and societal needs it represents. Number 2, James Bryce. According to him, constitutionalism is the idea that government should be bound by rules and that these rules must curb arbitrary power. Meaning, Bryce points out that a hallmark of constitutionalism is the regulation of government through clearly defined rules that restrict the potential for the abuse of power. Dear friends, now let us understand essential features of constitutionalism. Dear friends, constitutionalism is the principle that government powers must be exercised in accordance with the Constitution, ensuring that authority is limited and citizens' rights are protected. The following are the essential features of constitutionalism. Number 1, rule of law. Dear friends, the rule of law is a foundational principle that ensures everyone, including the rulers and governing bodies, is subject to the law. It ensures that laws are applied equally to all, preventing any individual or group, including the government, from acting above the law. This principle is crucial in safeguarding individual freedoms and preventing the abuse of power. Say for example, in India, Article 14 of the Constitution guarantees right to equality before the law. This means that no individual or group can be treated unequally by the state and everyone is entitled to equal protection under the law. This is constitutionalism. Number 2, limited government. Dear friends, constitutionalism advocates for a limited government, which means that the powers of the state must be restricted to prevent the abuse of power and ensure that the government cannot overstep its constitutional boundaries. This is done through a clear definition of governmental powers and responsibilities, ensuring that governmental actions are confined within the limits prescribed by the Constitution. Say for example, Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, which guarantees fundamental rights, limits the powers of both the legislature and the executive. These rights, including the right to equality and right to freedom, protect individuals from governmental interference and ensures that no branch of government can infringe upon personal liberties without a due process. This is constitutionalism. Number 3, separation of powers. Dear friends, a key feature of constitutionalism is the separation of powers, which ensures that power is not concentrated in a single branch of government. Dear friends, the Constitution divides a governmental authority among 3 distinct branches: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. This separation prevents any branch from becoming too powerful and ensures that each branch functions within its prescribed role, thus maintaining a balance of power. Say for example, in India, the legislature makes the laws, the executive enforces them, and the judiciary interprets and upholds the laws. This separation of power prevents one branch from infringing upon the powers or duties of another, ensuring the proper functioning of a democratic state. This is constitutionalism. Number 4, guarantee of rights. Dear friends, A cornerstone of constitutionalism is the guarantee of rights to the citizens. The Constitution ensures that the state protects individuals from arbitrary actions, securing basic freedoms and liberties. Dear friends, by guaranteeing these rights, the Constitution prevents governments from infringing upon the fundamental freedoms of individuals, thereby safeguarding democracy and justice. Say for example, in India, Article 14 to 21 of the Constitution guarantee a range of fundamental rights such as the right to equality, freedom of speech, right to life and personal liberty. These rights are essential to protect the individual from state encroachment and preserve democratic freedoms. This is constitutionalism. Number 5. Checks and balances. Dear friends, checks and balances are mechanisms that ensure no branch of government can act independently without being checked by the others. The different organs of government, through their respective powers, restrain each other, preventing any branch from becoming too powerful or acting beyond its constitutional mandate. This principle is vital for maintaining accountability in governance. Say for example, in India, the parliament has the power to impeach judges while the judiciary can strike down unconstitutional laws passed by the legislature. This system ensures that the actions of each branch are continually reviewed and held accountable by the others, preventing the abuse of power and ensuring fairness. This is constitutionalism. Number 6. Judicial review. Dear friends, judicial review is the power of the courts to assess the constitutionality of laws and government actions. It ensures that any law or action that is inconsistent with the Constitution is invalidated, thereby upholding the supremacy of the Constitution and protecting individual rights. Dear friends, judicial review is a critical safeguard in a constitutional democracy, ensuring that all laws and government actions comply with constitutional principles. Say for example, in India, Article 32 provides individuals with the right to approach the Supreme Court for the enforcement of their fundamental rights. Similarly, Article 226 allows the high courts to issue writs for the enforcement of fundamental rights and other legal rights. Dear friends, the Supreme Court has exercised judicial review in landmark cases like Keshwananda Bharti versus State of Kerala, where it upheld the basic structure doctrine and struck down the unconstitutional amendments, ensuring that the Constitution remains a living document and that the state's power is exercised within constitutional boundaries. This is constitutionalism. Dear friends, now let's focus on examples of constitutionalism. Number 1, United States of America. Dear friends, the USA has a rigid constitution with a clear separation of powers among the three branches of government. The Bill of Rights guarantees individual freedoms, and judicial review was established in the landmark case Marbury versus Madison, ensuring that laws not in compliance with the Constitution can be struck down by the courts. Number 2, United Kingdom. Dear friends, the UK doesn't have a single written constitution, but it upholds constitutional principles through traditions, statutes and judicial decisions. Key documents like the Magna Carta and the Bill of Rights serve as a historical foundations. The rule of law is central as articulated by A.V. Dicey, and parliamentary accountability ensures that the government is bound by constitutional norms. Number 3, India. Dear friends, India has a written constitution which is one of the longest in the world. India's commitment to constitutionalism is reflected in several key features. Number 1, fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. Number 2, independent judiciary with the power to review laws and actions of the government. Number 3, basic structure doctrine established in the Keshwananda Bharti case, which limits the power of parliament to amend certain fundamental aspects of the constitution. Number 4, public interest litigation that has broadened the scope of rights to include rights such as right to education and clean environment. And last one, the 44th Constitutional Amendment aimed to safeguard democratic principles by curbing the misuse of emergency powers following the 1975 to 77 emergency period. This is constitutionalism.